Hey guys, Mel the Terrain Tutor back in the studio and back with High Peak Pass for you. Yeah, it's my project to convert the kit from, foreground, the Fryburgh Fort, is it? I don't think that's quite how you say it, but it's close enough, yeah? But to convert their fort from a simple sort of fort in the round, yeah, to an awesome snowy mountain pass. Now when we left it last time, yeah, I just finished up creating these rock surfaces, and yeah, there's a link on the tutorial on the actual basic techniques for this. Link on the channel, yeah, I'll throw a link up. Okay, now when I left you last time, I was a little bit concerned that I got a bit carried away with just one type of, sort of rock face on this. If I bring it round to the close cam, yeah, the fact that I've gone for 10mm most of these, okay, but luckily, I've come back in and realised, well, actually, I did a 5mm along there, so I'm only looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers at most that are 10mm. Yeah, not ideal, but as I said before, I'm planning on putting a lot of snow on this, and to be truthful, they're quite recessed, there's quite a bit of space, so I should be able to play around with a blade with them and that sort of stuff. Now, the other side, if I spin that round, that's a lot more organic if you take a look at it. Yeah, there you go. That's a lot more organic with a lot of different layers, so I'm not going to need to do as much work on that. But I am going to have to tackle that side, and that's the job for today. Yeah, there's still a little bit of converting work to do on the tower. I'm going to leave that until I've done the rock sides. I should do it now, but to be truthful, I don't know why, but I'm just not right in the right place for it. Yeah, no doubt I'll do it as something's drying, but it will be done anyway. But my main job today is I need to get into these rock faces, I need to get them beveled down and that sort of stuff. Now I need to get cracked on it now because I can't work on anything else while I'm working on this. This is going to be very messy, okay? That's why I'm in the studio with it. And I don't want to risk working on my Burma board or anything like that and risk getting blue foam cross-contaminated, because it'll be a nightmare to get out on my Burma terrain. So, looks like Mel's going to have to get a bit messy. See you in a minute, guys. It's looking a bit shiny, isn't it? Okay, I very quickly took all the sort of takeable off bits, you know, the top of the towers, wrapped it in, in tin foil, as you can see. Now this is just so, as I was filing and sanding and doing stuff with this bit, I wasn't getting loads of little blue flecks in between all my sort of timber frames and that sort of stuff, because that would have been a nightmare to clean out. So this is just a little bit of protective covering. I've mainly been working on the actual cliff side, yeah, and in fact, I'll bring it round to that one. Yeah, now you can see there's a massive difference. What I did was really simple. Yeah, just coming in with a blade, yeah, and all I did was I sliced into it, yeah, and then just flicked it up. Kept doing that, and what I was left with was obviously this. Now this is a massive change to what those 10mm sheets they were before, so I'm actually really happy about it, and I'm actually quite happy because I made the cock up, yeah, it sort of forced me to do something that I wasn't planning on doing, yeah, and I got better results because of it. Happy, Mel. Okay, but I am not finished with shaping and everything this sort of things up. The mountains have been done, they're ready for adding filler, and we're almost ready to sort of start shaping the ground. But what I do need to do is the last bit of landscaping. Now, very quickly, if I pull this bit off, yeah, and pull this across, yeah, I've got to put an earth bank in here, same on the other side. I think I'm okay on this side. No, I need one here. I think I'm okay on this side, I'll have to check. But basically, I need to put a couple of earth bankments up against the, up against the palisades. Once they're in, they're dried, I can go in and I can start shaping the actual ground, ready for the overall fill coat. And once that's done, we're at the stage where we're moving on to the painting. So I'm very close to actually finishing off. Now, the only other thing that I need to do is, if I bring this round, put that down, you can see I've got my crevice here, my sort of cutaway for my tower. Now if I grab the tower, carefully, yeah, and I pop this in, yeah, and it goes to there, Okay, it's all right, it's looking good and everything, but what I'd like to do is, because I know that if I take this off, the top of the piece is there, what I'm thinking is I can probably raise it another couple of sheets just to give it a little bit more elevation or make it a little bit more interesting. That's my plan, but I'm winging it on this bit. I feel that's where it needs to go, but I've got no specific plans, so I'm going to have a little bit of a play, see what I can come up with, and fingers crossed, it'll turn out all right. So, cracking on time. It got a bit messy. It got a lot messy, to be perfectly honest. I had a little screw up and a fix and all those sort of things. So come on down and let me show you what I've been working on. Right, I've been working on getting this out. In fact, let me swap cameras. Yeah, around to this one. Yeah, I've been working on this area here. Now, as I was doing it, what I was using, as I wasn't using sandpaper as such, I was using a metal rasp. And what's happened is it's caused one of the 5mm sheets to break up. Now, I did my best to sort of smooth it all out and that sort of stuff, but I'm going to have to patch fix it, probably with Daz, something with a bit of volume to it before I go over it with the filler and that sort of stuff. So, bit of a fail there, although I have got these smoothed down and looking a lot more natural, okay? If I spin it round, yeah, to this side, what I managed to do was do the same work with the rasp, but I came in with the rasp, and what I've tried to do is put track marks in here, yeah? And I came in with the rasp, did a little bit, then came in with sandpaper, smoothed it off, came in with the rasp, did a bit more, a little bit sandpaper, and that's got a much better result. But it is something I'm going to still have to play with, you know, that's that sort of... I think the 5mm sheets are the issue, because the moment you start sanding into them, yeah, they start flaking and breaking apart, whereas the 10mm sheets are obviously a lot thicker and therefore they've got a lot more strength across them as you work into them. So, a little bit of learning for me, but that's the way it goes. Now, the other thing that I've done, I'm quite proud of, yeah, is, what's the best way to see this? Right, let's spin it round there, yeah. You should be able to see this little bit here. Okay, and this is my stairs into the tower. Now, these aren't glued in yet, so if I take the tower out, yeah, and leave the stairs, if I take those out, yeah, I'll bring them up to that camera there, yeah. So, those are my stairs, okay, and if I bring them round like that, this top little step isn't glued in yet, yeah, but that's essentially how I've done it. I did a block of 3, yeah, I put the stairs up against them, which is roughly 3 blocks, which is perfect. Another set of stairs on top. Yeah, I then dressed round them with all my little palisade pieces. Yeah, it's a bit higgledy-piggledy to be truthful. Yeah, and then I just hot glued some sheets onto the front and beveled them down. This was mainly to get me a bit of a slope on that I can then blend in and I can make look snowy or something along those lines. But my next job is I need to glue this in, yeah, and then once this is in, I can come in tomorrow and I can start shaping this up properly. A bit more work with the rasp, so get that right. And then start actually, fingers crossed, fill it, prepare it for painting. Okay, yeah, kind of surprised myself with that one. Right, so this will end up going in here, just there. Yeah, and then this is going to go in on there. And so my next job is, I've got to glue it down, leave it overnight, and then when we come back, we'll do the final ground shaping, and we'll start sealing all this in and all that sort of stuff, so we're ready for the painting stage. Yeah. Right, I'll get stuck in. So that's the last of the internal shaping done, and I'm getting a bit better with my rasping, to be perfectly honest. Now you're probably going to struggle to see this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of tilt it up a little just so you can see it, guys. Right, what I've been doing is I've just been shaping off the foam on the inside and getting a little bit more smoother, you know, take away the edges because it was sharp cuts. Now you can still see the transition lines from one piece of foam to the next piece of foam to the next piece of foam. You can see those clearly there, but they'll be a lot easier to actually cover up and that sort of stuff. Now I've beveled them down and shaped the ground up a little. So we're at the stage where all the foam shaping is done, and I have cleaned off my desk, which is always a good indication that the foam shaping is done. Next job is I need to sort of blend the transitions. Now what I mean by that is, if you take a look here, yeah, we've got these banks here, we've got these broken bits here, they're quite sharp. Okay, same on this side. Yeah, we've got these banks, gaps to fill, etc. Remember, this is going to be a snowy board, so there would be a graduation of snow up against it, if you know what I mean. So I need something that's got a bit of bulk. Now on top of filling those we've got gaps around here, we've got gaps around the mountainside that need filling as well. Normally, yeah, I would go in with some filler on something like this, but I need something with a bit more body, just to fill the major gaps, and then I can go in with filler afterwards. And so for that, yeah, I'm using the old Daz modelling putty, yeah. Air drying clay. I only need to put bits of it down, but I'm going to put them along here, around here, and basically start to fill these gaps, bulk it out. This area here, yeah, which is the tower area, is still going to be a little bit problematic because I've got to slide the tower in after I've painted the mountains, yeah, but I've got to blend the tower in with the snow at the bottom, so that's still going to be fiddly, but we'll deal with that the best we can. Don't you love little challenges? Right, my next job is I've got to just start filling this with Daz modelling putty, etc. Yeah, it's only a matter of getting the little bits off and pushing it in and that sort of stuff, so I'll stick a film on Netflix and get cracked on with this. The joys of terrain building, eh? Right, cracking on time. So my Daz modelling putty is dry now, and it's looking rather good. And if you take a look, you can see how it's gone in, it's hardened, it has raised up in a couple of edges where Daz shrinks a little. But I was expecting that, and I knew that I could deal with this at this stage. So what's this stage basically? Well, we've blended in all our pieces and sort of filled our major gaps that we had to do, and they've all worked really well, but we still need to sort of give it a texture coating and protect it. So for that, yeah, I'm using the good old, yeah, dial filler. And all I'm going to do is basically get this on my hands, wet it down and just smear it over. I'm going to cover these ground pieces, I'm going to cover all this round here, okay, and basically once it's done it will either be MDF brown or white. Yeah, never looks good at that stage, but it's what I've got to do before I put a little bit of grit down, and then we take it from there. So that's the next job to do on this. I don't need the filler to really fill gaps. That's been done by the Daz modelling putty, but I do need it to go on and create and fill a couple of these tiny little bits. I've also got to take it round the edges and round the side and that sort of stuff, fill those things ready for painting and that sort of stuff. So with that in mind, I better get cracked on. I'll see you shortly, guys. So that's all the filler work done, and it is really coming together. So if you take a look, you can see where I put in all the filler down here. Yeah, this is nice and hard. I've smoothed out all those points. There's still little bits of gribbly bits and bits of filler. Yeah, but I'll clean those off. They're not a problem. Yeah, I've also given the, the mountains more of a wash than a than a heavy coat of filler. If you're going with a heavy coat of filler over these things, you can smooth them out. So by putting a wash in, it sort of gets really bitty, which has changed the foam into a lovely rock texture. Now, you'll see that on the photos. I'll get a close-up of that. So basically, this is all hard. I've done the sides. Next job is I need to sand up these edges. Okay, yeah. Just clean them up where I've gone in, fill gaps, that sort of stuff. I need to finish the converting on the tower. I still haven't done that, but we're getting to the stage where I need to. Do a little bit of cleaning up where I've gone a bit heavy and flicked bits of filler on stuff. I'm not overly worried on that because we're going to be snowing it up anyway. So if there's filler on something, I can just throw some snow on it. Snow hides everything. Yeah, so we've got that. And I need to put some grit down, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, just where I want it not to be snowy, so you can see a bit of the ground where, you know, it's been walked on and that sort of stuff. So those are the next jobs. Next jobs, clean up the sanding, yeah, get the grit down, and to be perfectly honest, we might as well start painting the sides as well because they're going to need a coat on them. Mel's going to be a busy boy. Right, I'll get cracked on with this, and here are some photos. So Mel has been a busy bee, and I've got pretty much all of it done. Okay, so obviously, yeah, last time you saw it, we got all the DAS modelling putty in these sort of areas and that sort of stuff. I've gone over it with my filler coat, and hopefully, yeah, from the pictures you can see how that's brought out the rock texture, blended all that blue foam together, and it's really come out nice. Now, the other things I've done is, obviously, let's see which camera. That camera's probably better. Yeah, you can see how I've blended in my sheets here and got the transfer right. So this is looking all right. I've blended into the hillside, into these ramps and that sort of stuff. I've also blended in these corners and that sort of stuff. Now, the real big thing that I'm really quite proud of with this one was the tower. I was struggling with the tower because I got this situation where I was going to have to embed the tower and build up snow around it, but I wouldn't be able to do that until I finished painting the mountains, which makes it a little bit tricky, yeah, because I'd have to put the snow on the mountains that was being covered by the tower, yeah, before I put the tower in, and then I'd have to add some more snow around the base of the tower, and that was like, it's causing me a little bit of a concern, but it occurred to me that what I can do is, the tower is made up of multiple sections. So all I did was I cut the bottom one back off again, yeah, leaving me with the tower that I can take out, okay, while I'm painting and doing all my snow bits. But if we bring it round to that one and take those off, you should, if I just bring this up very quickly, it's alright, it hasn't been lit. Although I've done the, the black on it, if I just scratch that, or is that on my screen? I hope that's on my screen. It's on my screen, that's alright then. Yeah, I've done the black on the edges. Yeah, I like doing the black at this stage because I know I'm going to have to touch the black up after I've done all the grey on the rocks and the ground and that sort of stuff, but it's a lot easier to touch up the sides than it is to base coat them after you've done the main painting. So I always do the main sides black first, do all my main painting, then all I have to do is come up and just a little bit of precision clean up on the edges, and there's less chance of me leaking over onto the main thing if I do that. But very quickly, if I raise that up, you should be able to see that what I've done is I've cut the bottom off the tower. Yeah, I've hot glued it in place so it's going nowhere. Hot glue mainly because I just wanted to get DAS modelling putty on and get moving on it, so I just did it and it's glued. There is some PVA in there to help it bond, but that'll dry overnight. Along with all this DAS putty that I've sort of put around it and blended it in. Now what this means is lucky old Mel now could just crack on with the painting and the snowing up of it and then drop the tower in without any major problems. So I'm quite chuffed with that one. Obviously I put the grit down as well, and if you look you can notice it's slightly coarser at the edges, yeah, than it is in the middle. I intend to cover this up with like sort of slushy snow and ice and that sort of stuff. There was a request for puddles, but it doesn't really work with this piece, so I'm saving that one for the rest. But the deep snow, icicles and stuff like that, frosting up buildings, we're all covering that. And I've got a week to do it. Now the reason why I've got a week to do it is because we're having an open day here at my studios, and I've never had an exhibition piece. All the artists have a big exhibition, and I've never had an exhibition piece when we've had an open day. Typically, I'm either just starting a big commission or it's left and it's gone to whoever it's gone to, so I haven't had it. This I plan to display. Yeah, so little old Mel is going to have a busy week next week. Yeah, because we've got to finish painting, washing it and snowing up. Yeah, all ready for Friday night. Yeah, so it's ready for Saturday morning. Wish me luck, eh? But overall, really chuffed with it. It's gone together well. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really chuffed with it at the minute. I don't normally say that about buildings at this stage, but it really has come together. So guys, yeah, that's where I am at the minute. Obviously, yeah, you know, if you've got any questions or anything about the build, or want to know anything, get your questions down in the comments as well as any comments and that sort of things. You know what I mean? As always, like it, share it, and as always guys, if you do enjoy these vlogs, me sharing my hobby with you from me studio and all that sort of palaver, remember you can help make it happen. Yeah, there's going to be links on screen for the old PayPal and there'll be links on screen for Patreon, there'll be links down below to PayPal if you want to give a one-off, but it all goes to keeping the lights on, these cameras rolling, and me in here sharing all this with you. And I really couldn't do it without your help guys, so if you appreciate it guys, please consider supporting it. And in the meantime, Mel's going to be a busy man, and I'll see you hopefully with a final update. All the best, yeah? Ta-ra.